Online comment sections have a reputation for being extremely toxic. Twitter is a prime example of this. But is this reputation actually justified, or is this just bias? This video aims to analyze the actual levels of toxicity and not safe for work content across various categories of YouTube videos. But before we get into the deeper details, let's start with the game. Let's call this game Which Comment Section is Hornier? I'll start by naming two broad categories, then you'll guess which one you think has more sexual comments. There is a bit of nuance to this, but we'll worry more about that later. We'll start with male ASMR, or history. History comments are a little more sexual in nature than ASMR made by men. Male ASMR is about 73% of average, while history is 80%. Now, history usually isn't a very sexual category, so it can be surprising that ASMR, a category that pushes the boundaries of sexual content, is notably lower. Next up is commentary videos versus competitive shooters. Commentary video comments are 49% more sexual than the average YouTube comment, with competitive shooters being about 1% less. This is somewhat counterintuitive, as competitive shooters tend to bring more aggressive individuals. That said, the commentary category is very broad, which could explain some of the difference. Next up, we have League of Legends or dog videos. League of Legends comments are about 25% below the average of sexual content, compared to dog videos sitting just 1% above. This may prove that League of Legends players are focused less on getting laid and more on winning. And hey, good for them. Besides, they're already toxic in other ways. I'm sure you get the point by now. Some communities are more intense than others. But what are we actually looking at here? For this informal study, I collected comments from 1,200 YouTube videos spanning 30 different categories. Each category containing 40 videos gives us a pretty decent sample size. To analyze these comments, I utilized two AI algorithms. First, a sexual content classifier trained on Reddit comments, and second, a toxicity classifier that detects multiple types of toxicity. If you're not familiar with what a text classifier is, you can think of it as a Plinko board. Words drop in from the top, and as they bounce off the pegs, each ends up in a different container. The final position of all these words helps the AI determine the overall tone and content of the comment. In other words, you put text in and get some numbers out. One flaw with my approach, aside from the limitations of the AI models themselves, is that the YouTube video links were collected using YouTube search in an incognito browser. As many of you know, YouTube search can be notoriously unreliable. Despite searching for a specific topic, you'll often find YouTube serving you videos that might only be slightly related or won't be related at all to what you were searching for. It loves giving you the others also watched section. Fortunately, since this was a limitation for every category, it mainly shows as a little bit of white noise. Now, let's move on to the important findings of this analysis, starting with the overall toxicity levels. Contrary to popular belief, the average toxicity across all categories and comments on YouTube only measured as 7.3% toxic. This means that the vast majority of comments posted, or at least that I found, are fairly benign. Of course, this doesn't mean much till we start breaking it down by category, so let's start. First off, news comments had 3 times more identity-based attacks than the average comment, which reinforces the obvious perception of news and political discourse being polarizing. This could be attributed to the adversarial nature of news reporting, especially in political topics, where viewers may align themselves with opposing sides or teams. Second, fitness video comments, on the other hand, were 2 to 7 times less toxic than average across almost all metrics. This suggests a much more supportive set of communities around the genre, which is very good to see. Next up, art-related comments had about 3 times more threats than average. This could be explained by conflicts arising from differing artistic perspectives, or could just be simple critiques being misinterpreted as threats. Both male and female ASMR video comments were fairly positive. However, the replies in these communities showed much higher toxicity compared to the original comments. This difference could be explained by the controversial nature of ASMR content. While fans leave supportive comments, detractors, or those unfamiliar with ASMR, might respond negatively. If you read some of the comments, you can certainly see this trend. As mentioned in the game, The commentary videos had the highest sexual content scoring, with gaming-related videos being remarkably low. This does contradict some common stereotypes around gaming communities. Of course, this isn't to say that the sexual weirdos don't exist in the games themselves, they just aren't as talkative in YouTube comment sections. There are many more findings, but in the interest of time, I'll leave it there. You can find the full report in the description if you'd like. Now that we've spoken about our findings, I think we need to mention that while AI analysis can be powerful, it's not perfect. Sometimes AI misinterprets innocent comments as inappropriate. For example, in a male ASMR video, the comment, "I don't know why, but the buzz is godly," was flagged as highly not safe for work. This shows a lack of context awareness from the AI, which could have been improved with a better planned approach. Flaws like this can seriously skew the results, especially in comedy-related categories. That all said, imagine a moderation bot that used these exact sexual content scorings. You wouldn't be able to laugh without getting banned. This goes to show the importance of human oversight and context in content moderation. Moderation like this is similar to how various real-world algorithms ban or throttle content. Oftentimes, context is left as an afterthought. Words such as unalive or grape are results of this, born out of necessity due to over-moderation. To wrap up, let's go over what we've learned and what can be improved for next time. First, YouTube comments are generally less toxic than their reputation suggests. This shows an interesting aspect of human psychology, our tendency to fixate on negative information. It is a well-documented phenomenon that a vocal minority can significantly skew a group's perception of reality. This, in addition to the survivorship bias created by negative interactions bringing more attention and thus being seen even more, creates a compounding effect. Second, different content categories have unique comment section dynamics. Content creators might use this information to better understand and manage their communities. For instance, creators affected by more toxic comments could utilize stricter keyword moderation to remove toxic comments from public view. Although, like I said earlier, this comes with its own flaws. Third, reply threads across all categories show higher toxicity levels than their original comments. This suggests that deeper discussions or arguments tend to become more heated. Fourth, the surprising positivity in fitness communities could encourage more people to engage with health and wellness content online. Lastly, while AI analysis can provide valuable insights, it has limitations. Context is extremely important in understanding online communication. As online platforms and their comment sections evolve, creators understanding the dynamics of their comment sections can lead to more positive and productive discourse in said comment sections. You can find the auto-generated report, as well as some graphs, linked in the description. It's a bit cumbersome, but it contains all the data and more. Future research on this subject could explore changes in comment sentiment over time, compare YouTube to other platforms, or investigate the impact of different moderation approaches on toxicity. But until then, goodbye.